Powered by imombo.com, I'm Tom Mayenknecht, host of The Sport Market. This was another week that showed just how bullish the Canadian market is for the NHL brand of hockey and demonstrated that interest and fan engagement in the game has never been higher. With Ottawa back in playoff contention and re-energizing the Senators fan base, all 7 Canadian teams are selling out their home games. Quebec City continues to move along with its arena project, one that is squarely designed to lure an NHL team back to the provincial capital and former home of the Quebec Nordiques, who are now the Colorado Avalanche. And now interested parties in Saskatoon are suggesting to the NHL they'd like to be part of the consideration of Saskatoon as a future NHL city. Now, I'm of the view that the NHL strengthened its position significantly by relocating the Atlanta Thrashers to Winnipeg to usher in the second coming of the Jets. The TV numbers, sponsorships, and most important, paid sellouts at the MTS Centre capacity of 15,004 all back that up. I'm also of the view that Quebec City, especially given its rivalry corridor with the Montreal Canadiens, would be a big upgrade over one of the NHL's struggling U.S. teams. I also believe a second team could thrive in Toronto or Southern Ontario if territorial rights could ever be figured out, and that's a big if. I'd have to be real cautious on Saskatoon given its small population base of 250,000, one that is tiny even when compared to Winnipeg. Let's say Canada can support 9 NHL teams, and I believe it can. From a sport business and sheer economics point of view, the logical routes to go are Quebec City and a second team in Southern Ontario. But under the right circumstances, this much is for sure. A hypothetical Saskatoon NHL team would be no worse off than at least 2 or 3 of the league's current U.S. entries. Whether that justifies relocation to Saskatchewan is another question, even recognizing the province's rapidly growing economy and a diversification that's attracting talent back to the breadbasket of Canada. But when 4 million Canadians tune into some part of NHL trade deadline day, including an average national audience of north of 350,000, for 10 hours of trade talk that wound up being more speculation than substance, you have to wonder just how far the NHL envelope could be pushed in Canada. The bottom line is this: the NHL would be smart to continue shifting its center of gravity northward to other markets in Canada and in the northern U.S., such as Seattle. Doing so would increase average franchise value, attendance, sponsorships, merchandise sales, and television metrics, all among the most important sport business indicators there are. Tread carefully on a bubble market like Saskatoon, but never say never to anything Canadian when it comes to the NHL.